Hello, hello. How y'all doing? Good.
Eli, you notice a receiving threat that people sleeping on your run blocking ability as well?
Yeah, I think that I've taken a lot of strides in my run blocking over the last 2 years. I think I've gotten a lot better, and I think I continue to get a lot better as well. Not just in that aspect of my game, but in every aspect of my game.
Have you met with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I have not.
In terms of the receiving side, where do you feel your strengths
I think my strengths are in my athleticism. Being a matchup problem because I have a rare, ability in terms of athleticism and also size to be able to create some mismatches, and then also, being able to catch the ball.
are? Is there anything, some of the kind of like similar to your prototype of play that you look up to?
Yeah, I mean, I've watched as many tight ends as I possibly can and continue to try to learn. But I watch all the greats, Kelsey, in terms of his route running, his ability to get open, catch the ball. Kittle in terms of the mindset, being able to essentially try to be the best at every aspect of tight end. Not just running and catching the ball, but also being the best blocker in the league. Another guy I watch is Antonio Gates. I think he's a guy that I can learn a lot from in terms of understanding the game, be able to sit, find zones, and get open and be a quarterback's friend. So.
Why'd you come back for another year, and how much did that year help you?
Yeah, I came back for another year because I knew what we were doing at Vandy after that first year. I knew we won 7 games, we won a bowl game, and it was good. But I knew that our team was really good, and I knew we had more that we could accomplish. And so I wanted to come back and be able to help the team win. And I also wanted to, come back and be able to help my own process in terms of getting better at tight end. And I thought that year could, give me another year of experience and be able to learn more, play at the SEC level before I go to the NFL.
How much pride do you take on being a part of that turnaround at Vanderbilt? I mean, one of the biggest turnarounds in modern college football we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing experience, and I was just humbled to be a part of it. It was a blessing to be able to go to Vandy, for them to be able to take me in, and continue to just teach me and grow me as a tight end, and then to be a part of that whole process. I mean, credits to Coach Lee, his whole staff, Miss Candace Lee, athletic director. They were the biggest parts in being able to create the success that we had over the past 2 years, and so.
Was it hard for you guys to believe it? Vanderbilt was experiencing that kind of success?
I don't think it was hard to believe it because I think we had belief in our team. We had confidence in our team. I think that all starts with our quarterback, Diego. I think he's something that you see confidence in him that's special. You see confidence in him that you don't see in a lot of players. And his confidence was kind of spread out throughout the whole team, and everybody. We went into the season believing that we could win every game, and I think that's what made us be successful.
Can you give us the sales pitch on Diego? What makes him, what should make him an attractive quarterback prospect for teams?
Yeah, I mean, one, just look at his production. I think he was the best player in college last year. Two, I think that people don't understand how hard of a worker he is and how good of a leader he is. That's what you want in a quarterback on your team. He will not let anybody outwork him, and he's going to hold the standard and hold people up to that standard as well. Y'all see his film. He's a baller. He gets stuff done. So.
Eli, have you met?
Misconceptions about him, either as a player or as
I think there's a lot of misconceptions about him. I think that certain things go out in the media, and there's some narratives that are written about him. But I think in reality, as a person, like, I love him to death. That kid cares about everybody in his life. He loves everybody in his life. He's the best teammate you could have. I was a roommate with him for the last 2 years, and it was an amazing experience. So.
Eli, have you met with the Eagles yet?
No, I have not. Tonight I do.
Eli, what was your most complete game in college?
My most complete game, I would say either Auburn or Tennessee from this last year, or Bama from the year before. I think that those games I was able to kind of showcase my ability to produce in the passing game, but also be able to put some good run blocking film on tape.
What area of your game would you say you needs the most work on?
I would say my blocking, because that was the newest thing to me, newest technique, newest movement coming from quarterback. That was something you never did as a quarterback. And so I think that that's something that I've gotten a lot better at, like I said, but I want to continue to try to learn and watch film and hone in on my technique.
Eli, why should teams draft you?
I think that they are getting a tight end that has a special blend of like athleticism, that's tough, has a football IQ, being a former quarterback, understanding the game at a higher level than a lot of tight ends do. So.
Can you share the background of all the athletes in your family and maybe who you consider to be the best?
Yeah, so my dad's former football player. He came to the combine back in '94, I think. He signed undrafted to the Broncos, and then he had a short career in the NFL. Ended up playing in NFL Europe when they still had that. He played for a team called the Rhein Fire in Germany for a couple years. My mom, former volleyball player, semi-pro beach volleyball player, played until she was like 32 years old, and then I'm gonna have to give it to my sister. She's the best athlete in the family. She's All-American volleyball player, national championship MVP. She's the best volleyball player in the nation. So.
How does playing high school football in Texas prepare you for college and this
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Texas high school football is as good as it gets. I think you see not just in college, but also in the NFL. Player riddled with players from Texas, and I think that's because there's so much talent. There's so many kids in the Dallas area, the Houston area, Austin, San Antonio, all over the place. There's talent all over the place, and you're going to play against the best in that state.
Do you have with the Texans?
I have not yet.
How many formal interviews have you had or has coming up?
I've had
Which teams?
I've had a few. So hold on. I mean, I get through all of them. So far, I've had like the Browns, the Broncos, who else? The Jaguars. I've had a lot, but yeah, I don't want to name all of them. But yeah.
These other teams, when they're showing your film to you, what would you say is the part of your game that you're most proud to show off to them?
Yeah, I would say that one, my athleticism. I think that kind of jumps out on tape as being special. My ability to catch the ball and attack the ball, and then like I said before, being the understanding of the game. So.
What do you think your most underrated trait is?
My underrated trait, I would say blocking. I think that people don't give me enough credit for the strides I've already taken in my blocking game. I think, like I said, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying there's a whole lot more I can continue to grow. But I think I'm a good blocker at this point in my career.
What exact skills do you think playing the quarterback position for so long kind of helped you for making the transition to tight end?
Yeah, I think that playing quarterback was pivotal in my transition to tight end, just making it easier because I understood the game. Like as a quarterback, you have to understand what everybody's doing on offense, what everybody's doing on defense. And I think that made the transition easier in terms of scheme. Like I didn't have to learn a whole nother position, a whole new route tree, anything like that. It just kind of made that transition easier, and also being quarterback friendly. We're kind of seeing the defense in the same way, and so in the route game, I'm able to be friendly to my quarterback.
Just curiosity now, what's Diego like as a roommate?
As a roommate, like I said before, man, like he's a reliable dude. Like you ask him to do anything for you, he'll do it. If you need anything from him, he'll do it. I mean, we had some good times at the house, and just watching film together. Going out to eat all the time, and I mean, he's my boy. He's like I said, he's got some bad media and stuff like that, but like I said, he's the best dude you'll ever meet. So. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me, he's a pro. He went to sleep earlier than everybody else in the house. So.
Have you been with the New Orleans Saints?
I have.
That formal, informal?
It was informal.
How'd that go? Tell me a little about that.
Yeah, it was good. I think that they wanted to see kind of how I understood the game, and they were kind of asking about my background, seeing who I was as a person. So.
What do you think about Tyler Shuck?
Yeah, I think he had a heck of a year last year, and I think that he's going to continue to get better and continue to be a quarterback in the NFL that is going to be really successful. So.
At what point did you think getting here, being kind of on the doorstep of the NFL
Would be a possibility? I think that that's something that I always thought could be a possibility in my life. Even being a young kid playing Little League, that was always my dream, and I knew that I had the ability to, in whatever it was. I remember telling my parents, I don't know what position it's going to be. This is when I was a quarterback at the time. I'm gonna, I have the possibility of going into the league as a quarterback, but regardless of what happens, I think there's a possibility that I'll be in this spot. So.
What does it mean to represent Vanderbilt?
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing, man. We went there, and I fell in love with the school, fell in love with the coaching staff, fell in love with the city. Vanderbilt's it's a school like nothing else, man. You're not going to get the blend of being in the SEC, getting the academics, being in one of the best cities in the nation. I mean, Vanderbilt is it's literally the best school in the country. So it was a blessing to be a part of that.
What do you think happens now that you left, Diego left, some of the players that kind of moved on?
Yep. I think that we still have we kind of laid the foundation, and I think that foundation's been laid, and I think the players that are there and the coaching staff's still there. I think that they're going to continue to run with it, and they're going to continue to have success. Yeah, potentially. I'm pretty sure I will have an informal with them. Yes, sir.
What do you think Coach Lee and the staff did best to help you?
I think that Coach Lee himself kind of taught me, the discipline of being a football player, and I think he was set an example for that for the whole team. You know, he was a guy that was always going to be, you know, at the facility before everybody else. He's always in there watching film. He's there late at night. Like, you know, he's always setting the groundwork for how we could be successful. And I think that kind of, you know, he taught me that, and I was able to apply that to my own career. And then, you know, the tight end coaches and Coach Flats, Coach Lepak, you know, that when I got there, I was basically like brand new to tight end. And so they kind of taught me everything I know, and they kind of have grown me as a player. So. Yeah, my faith is literally everything to me. It's the most important thing in my life. I think that my faith is the reason that I play this game in terms of like God has given me these abilities, these opportunities to play this game and get to this point. And I think I'd be doing a disservice to not work my absolute hardest and continue to try to be the best I can be in order to glorify Him in Christ dying on the cross for us. Favorite Coach Lee story? Oh man. Nah, I always just thought it was funny when he get like I'm sorry, Coach Lee, don't get mad at me. When he get real stressed out and then he'd start just like he just start rubbing his head and he's like just rubbing his head all the time. We always thought that was funny. But.
What would you tell your younger self, you know, after this season, you're Mackey, you're Campbell, you're here, what would you tell your younger self?
Yeah, I would tell my younger self that just continue to stay humble and continue to, you know, keep your head down and work. I think that's, you know, that's part of the reason, you know, God obviously, He brought me through this entire journey, through the injuries, through, you know, transferring and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, like, the reason that I got to this point was that I just continued to stay humble, leaning on my faith, and just continue to work hard, not knowing what was going to happen in the future. You know, if you would have asked me even 3 or 4 years ago that I was going to be playing tight end, I would have thought you were crazy. I was a quarterback through and through, and so I would say to just continue to stay humble, and then, you know, and continue to work hard, and, you know, everything is out in front of you. Favorite story with Diego? I think that just a character thing that I think people don't know about him. Like, I think you ask anybody in that Vanderbilt facility, like even like the workers, the workers in the cafeteria, you know, the janitors, the nutritionists, like he always made it a priority to make sure that he said something to them. Every single one of them. Anytime he walked past them, he was saying, you know, hey, how you doing? Like, how, you know, good to see you, all that kind of stuff, and everybody loves that about him. Yeah, I think that he's very blunt in the way that he kind of approaches his public like persona, and so I think that he just kind of says whatever he wants to say sometimes. And I think that sometimes, like, you know, a lot of us, we all kind of have thoughts that we shouldn't be saying in the media, and I think sometimes he just says those things. But you know, but as a person, like as a, you know, who he really is, I mean, he's an amazing guy, and I love him to death. So. I've had a few, yeah. They were not. Thank you. Yeah, thank y'all.